September 26, 2017 meeting of the Architectural Review Board. The Architectural Review Board is a 9-member board appointed by the City Council and serve on a voluntary basis without compensation. Our procedure for conducting business is the petitioner for each item will be asked to come forward, state your name for the record, and present his or her request. The board will ask any questions they may have. Then anyone wishing to speak to the proposal will be asked to come forward and voice their opinions. For each side, we'll have 10 minutes to speak. Once your request is heard and the board's decision is rendered, you may leave the meeting. However, if you have questions for staff, please wait until after the meeting is over to ask them, or you may contact the staff at the office the following day. Our public testimony and discussion for a particular item once public testimony and discussion for a particular item has concluded, the members of the board will deliberate and will render its decision. Members with a personal or financial interest in any request are required to recuse themselves from voting. All decisions by the Architectural Review Board are final. Any aggrieved party may appeal a decision of the board to the City Council within 15 days. Petitioners may appeal the board decision to the Circuit Court within 30 days of the meeting. We have 7 members present. It takes 5 votes to pass a motion. Because of the number of members present, if you would like to delay your request, please let us know at the time your request is announced. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of the Architectural Review Board. To my left, far left, Mr. Cedric Campbell, Reverend Willie Welch, Ms. Elizabeth Brown, Mrs. Katie Williams, Mr. John Foshee, and Mr. John Hayden. Our planning and control staff, Christy Anderson, who's here today? Christy Anderson, Sam Morris, filling in for Russell, and Mrs. Helen Milligan, and Mr. Robert Smith. We do have a quorum. At this time, have everyone had a chance to review the minutes of the last meeting? Are there any corrections, deletions, or additions? With that being said, the minutes stands approved. Our first presenter, Mr. Dwight Olive. Request for approval of gravel driveway and rear parking pad for the property located at 3141 LeBron Road, Cloverdale, Idlewild. You may present your project.
Hello, my name is Dwight Olive and I represent the property at 3141 LeBron Road. And I'm asking the approval for the partial gravel down the broken, deteriorated concrete that's there up to the existing concrete slab, and then an 18 by 20 footprint in the rear where the garage used to be.
Okay. Okay. Any comments from the board? Any comments from the floor?
My name is Charlie Colvin. I'm with the Cloverdale Idlewild Neighborhood Association. We have no objections to the project.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any further addition? Any further comments from the floor? Chair, entertain a motion.
Move to approve as submitted.
Second.
Motion has been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadness? Any unreadness? Any unreadness? All in favor of the motion? All the motion has been approved.
Thank you very much.
Next presenter, Jimmy Saunders. Request for approval of a porch railing for the property located at 398 Felder Avenue, Garden District. This is a violation. You may present your project.
Yes, hello, I'm Jimmy Sanders. Thank you all for your service, by the way. I'm in violation by mistake. We have a person joining Sanders Properties, and they came in earlier than we expected. And if we have a photograph here in a minute, you'll see the motive for my being a little late. There she is. Her name is Winks. She's 2 years old. I've owned this property since 2010, but that's the first time we've had a youngster, and it occurred to me that that porch where you see Winks standing is not in compliance with city safety code. It's more than 30 inches above grade, so we put up the railings there quickly, not in time for the last meeting, and so that's how we're in violation. So we're requesting here now today approval after the fact of the railing that you see there. It's on a side porch, 15 feet long, between the pillars, between the columns.
Any
Winks.
comments from the board? Any comments from the floor? Chair entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we forgive him for the violation and allow him to go on and enjoy his railing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been moved and properly seconded. Any unreadness? Any unreadness? Any unreadness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? The motion has been approved.
Winks and I thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Next presenter, Tim Riley, request for approval of window replacement for the property located at 1203 South Perry Street, Garden District. You may present your project.
Good evening. I'm John Pollock. I'm the district sales manager with Home Depot, and we were asked to bring this window to show you. We're going to put into Mr. Buchanan's home. By the pictures, you can see that all the windows that we're replacing are on the rear of the home in a what used to be a porch that was screened in years ago. I have Mr. Buchanan brought some more pictures in of how rotted his existing windows are. And then we brought a sample of the Anderson 400 series window we would like to put in.
The other windows on the home are the standard.
Could you
speak to the
speak?
microphone?
Oh, sorry.
We can't hear.
The other windows on the home are the standard multi-pane glass windows. And apparently, these were built on the back porch sometime later. And they're sliding one-pane, big pane windows. And the problem is the wood is rotten and soft. And when it rains or the wood gets damp, you cannot close or open those windows. And the windows we're getting are Anderson windows, and they'll look much the same as these on the outside. The only difference will be the screen will be on the inside of the window because they will open differently from the sliding ones.
Can you send those other pictures?
Get those other pictures too. Are you going to, I noticed that there are windows and then there appears to be a panel that fills in at the top. Are the windows going to take up the whole space, or are you keeping that panel?
No, the windows are just going to merely be in the same space the old windows are. The one over the door is going to remain the same. It's one large single pane.
Can you speak a little closer?
Oh, sorry. The window over the door does not open. It's just one large single pane, and it's not going to be replaced.
Okay.
What about the window adjacent? Is it going to fill the whole space?
That's just what he said.
No, the one beside the door is just going to be, the new windows are going to be exactly where the old windows are.
Okay, so it's not going to fill that void above the door?
No.
I mean, above the window?
No.
You have a
Yes.
prototype there?
Any window you would bring would look better than this window.
So is it like a fixed casement?
No, Mr. What we have, we're going to be putting things on the bottom. So, because we don't have, I don't understand.
So it'll go out like this?
So the only difference in appearance on that picture would be that bar that comes down the east.
Without any money panels? No
Right.
no girls? No, this is all of them. All of them will just be, the one over the door stays as is. It's just gonna be a solid pane of glass. So instead of that, the line in the middle is like one.
And the exterior will wrap, so number you can't do another half.
The kind of.
All right, thank you.
So we heard none of that. Could someone summarize what y'all were discussing?
Elizabeth will.
They're going to install, this is an indication not of really the type of window that they're going to use, but of the quality of the window.
Yes.
And they're going to install awning windows to replace these slider windows across the back. And they're not taking these fillets out of the top, which would look better, by the way. But, I don't think that there's any problem that the condition will not be materially different, except that there won't be that dividing rail. It'll be one big window rather than two smaller windows. It'll still look like a filled-in porch, which is what it is.
Very good.
Thank you.
You got it?
Got it.
Okay. Okay, do we have any comments from the floor? Any comments from the floor? Chair, entertain a motion.
I move we approve as submitted.
Second.
If we have a motion that's been moved and properly second, is there any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? All right. Motion has been passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our next presenter, Bo Henderson, requests for approval of rear yard fence for the property located at 1111 Westmoreland Avenue, Old Cloverdale.
Good evening, I'm Bo Henderson, and yeah, I'd like to get a new fence.
That's it?
That's pretty much it. It's pretty cut and dry. The partial privacy fence that we have now is in pretty bad shape, and then we have a 4-foot chain link fence around the rest of the way, and I would like to cover all that up with a new privacy fence.
Any questions from the board?
Mr. Henderson, are you going to remove the chain link or just put the privacy up against it?
I'm going to put the privacy up against it.
And I ask because my wife wants me to do the same thing, so it's probably the way we're going to go.
The idea of digging up all the
I know
the posts sounds
a lot of
daunting.
time and money to remove a chain link. Thank you.
It might look a little better if you just remove the chain link and just left the posts.
Probably.
Make that part of the motion when that time's on. Any more comments from the board? Any comments from the floor? Any comments from the floor? Okay. Chair, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion that's been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? The motion has been approved.
Cool. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you. Our next presenter, Paul and Anna Wamstead. Request for approval of a rear yard fence for the property located at 1466 Watson Avenue, Old Cloverdale. May I present you.
Hey, Paul Wamstead, 1466 Watson Avenue. We want to put up a privacy fence. We previously had one approved several years ago. We just didn't end up putting it in at the time. So we would like to go ahead and do that.
Wow.
Yeah. You know how money goes, right?
Yeah. Yes. Welcome to Moe's.
Any comments from the board? Any comments?
Mr. Wamstead, you planning to proceed with the project now, or are you ready to
Well,
start?
part of what I know we're going to have to submit this next month is that one of the things that we want to talk about is the shed. The shed's in pretty bad shape, and we want to take that down. We didn't get it in time for this ARB, so we'll submit another application, but I think we're going to try to do that as soon as we can take that down.
Okay.
So within the next 30 to 45 days.
The shed and the fence?
Yes.
Gotcha.
But the shed is not on this application. So if y'all say, hey, go ahead with the shed, I mean, I'd be great with that, but I know you can't do that, so.
All right, any comments from the floor? Any comments from the floor? Chair, entertain a motion.
Move to reapprove for the fence, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been moved and it's properly seconded. Is there any unreadness? Any unreadness? Any unreadness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? The project's been approved.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I'll see you next month.
All right, then let's get
All right, y'all take it easy.
Okay, our next presenter, Judd Blunt. Request for approval of new signage for the property located at 416 Cloverdale Road, Old Cloverdale. You may present your project.
Good evening. My name is Judd Blunt, and I'm here seeking approval for my a sign for my new business, Vintage Cafe, located at 416 Cloverdale Road. And this is Judy Moore with Mid-State Advertising.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the board?
Is this the old bank building across, next to Cloverdale Service Center?
It is.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
That's the old Regions Bank.
Yeah, the old
Yes.
Regions Bank.
The old
building.
Regions Bank.
Gotcha.
Did y'all bring a sample of the sign? Is that what's there? I'd love to see that.
Is that the size of the actual A that you're using, or is that the?
It is. It's the 32-inch.
Mr. Blunt, can you explain how the signage will be lit?
It will be lit externally from a light that shines on the building.
So on the ground?
It's on the ground currently.
Be shining on the
Yes.
building?
It illuminates the whole building.
So no wires, you'll just mount it? and
That's correct.
Put the spot on it?
Yep.
So this does have a backing?
Excuse me?
It does have a backing?
No, it would be just a mount to the building.
It's not backlit.
Okay.
It's lit from the light.
Individual.
No, I'm just saying,
Individual.
basically, I see.
You're putting these letters up on the limestone,
That's correct.
all those holes.
There are lots of holes up there from the previous business.
Yeah, that's what I'm
My
saying.
primary comment about this sign is that this is an international style building. And this is not an international style sign. This is something that something earlier than that, probably 20 or 30 years earlier, even 50. I think it would be better if the letters like you've used in Cafe and Cloverdale were or something more like them rather than these shaded letter signs that you've chosen. Just my opinion.
Okay.
Is this pretty much your logo? Is this
It is.
logo? Okay. Any further comments from the board? Any comments from the floor? Any comments from the floor? Chair, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been moved and properly second. There any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor of the motion? How many we have? All opposed? We have 5-2. Motion is passed. Okay?
Thank you.
Project's been approved.
Thanks.
We have next presenter, Robert Milstead. Request for approval of a handicap ramp for the property located at 2004 Madison Avenue, Cloverdale Heights. You may present your project.
Hello, my name is Robert Milstead with Milstead Remodeling. I'm the owner. This is Mr. Ray Leonard. He is the property owner. His wife recently has health issues, which requires wheelchair. At the time, I had to go ahead and proceed building this with Christie's permission. It is totally finished now, and his wife just came out of rehab and is currently using it. It's a 20 by 30.
We don't have a picture of it finished.
He called me this afternoon and said he had one on his phone, but no, I don't have a picture.
Okay.
Do you have the drawing?
They've got that too, but they don't have an elevation view of it.
I got it.
It was just going to be post with a handrail.
It's all made of 2x treated, has a 5/4 board on top, does not have ballast. It's a little less than 3 feet coming off the front porch right there.
Okay.
Does this conform to code?
Yes.
Because you got it like 30 feet long, and I thought 25 is not.
Well, it's a little less, but I just called it 30. But for it to meet the driveway, yes,
Is it at a 1 in 12 slope?
yes, I didn't want to. If we stopped it too short, it would have been too steep. But I wanted to meet it where he wouldn't have to roll her into the grass and then get on there.
And you say you don't have a picture on the phone?
The front part out here is level. Because coming off the porch, the front is going to be level all the way across like a deck, 4 wide. Then I started there tearing it off towards the driveway.
That actually usually works much better.
It does. I mean, there's no other way to do it, but I was just trying to explain how it's going to look.
Mr. Milstead, do you have a photo on your phone?
It's in the car.
It's in the car.
Any further comments from the board? Any comments from the floor? Excuse me, could you come to the microphone, state your name?
Gene Gunner with the Capitol Heights Civic Association. I rode by the house and the ramp looks appropriate. It comes up the side of the house and turns and goes to the front rather than being straight up the front of the house. And from all that I've ever seen for a historic area, that would be the correct way to do it.
Thank you.
I just wish we had something more than a drawing that's incorrect and a picture before you did the work. It's hard to approve something that we have no idea what it is. It sounds correct, but we don't see it. We have nothing to approve, really. I have no problem with a handicap ramp. I think it's totally appropriate for the situation. But you understand that we have nothing to look at, to approve. And I think that it's kind of a slap in the face to this board.
Mr. Chair, can we table it to the next item and let him go outside and get the phone and bring it back in? Is that allowable?
Yes. Can we do that?
You can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you mind running out and getting your phone?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Right now, just
They're gonna table it
Table
until,
and then we'll go to the next.
and continue on, and if you'll go out and get your phone, so we'll just pass it down.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to table it right at this moment, and we'll go to the next one. And this is this one here is going to be. Is it going to be long for him? Because I know the next one's going to be coming.
Dennis, he will need to come back in.
You want to just wait?
Let's just wait. Yeah, let's just wait since we got. Since the next two is going to be coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna be coming. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's coming
Wish
right
we
back.
had some music here to go.
Yeah. I want to see the full-size plan down there for this one. The next one.
You want to see it full size?
Yeah, but then we've got one down here.
We got multiples.
You got it?
You had a phone, the picture on the phone?
Well, I was getting it, and they said, come back in there.
No, I told him
Sorry,
that
Mr.
he would need to
Mills.
come back in because the door is locked. No, he
let
needs
him-
to go out.
Let him go
and
to his
be able
car.
to come back in since the door's locked. I'll tell you, it has been one of those days. That's all I'm going to say.
It's been one of those past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hmm? They're waiting. They decided that your
There's a process. It has nothing to do with the project, it has to do with the process.
Well, I apologize. I rode with the homeowner. Left it in the truck. So,
You'll probably have time to go get it with the next two, to be honest. But
so we have to come back next month.
How long would it take for someone to bring it here? Or to take a picture and bring it here?
I don't have.
Because we'll probably be here for a good half hour on the next two items.
or text it.
Well, he lives right down the street, Madison Avenue. If we,
If someone
We'll
could
go
take
ahead
a
on it.
picture, text it to a phone, anything like that?
Yeah, we'll put you at the end of the agenda
Yeah.
if you can get it.
all right, we'll run there and we'll come right back.
Okay then. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay then. Okay, let's move on to presentation number 8. Chris Tippett. Request for approval of house addition, garage, tree removals, and fence adjustments for the property located at 723 Thorn Place, Old Cloverdale. May present your project.
Sure. Hi, members of the board. My name is Chris Tippett. I'm an architect, and I'm presenting for 723 Thorn Place and for Karen and Pat Laplatney, the owners. They are requesting that we have 2 additions to the house, a master bedroom addition and a family room and porch addition. and a minor addition to connect the master bedroom to the house. The garage was destroyed by a tree a year and a half ago, I think. And so they want to build the garage back. The design is very similar to what was existing there before, its exact footprint, and the same kind of feeling as the original garage that was there. The materials will, of course, match the existing house and be painted. The siding will be painted the existing color, and the trim will be painted to match the existing house. The only thing that we're requesting that doesn't match any of the original materials is we're asking for a metal roof on the porch. That would be a 2 and 12 standing seam hipped roof that would only end up being 15 inches tall at the peak, but it would be hipped from every side. And that is shown on sheet number, I'm missing that sheet. It would be sheet number 3, I think, in the drawings past this one. It's the front elevation, the street elevation of the house shows that porch. All the roof pitches would match the existing roof pitches of the house. And then we're asking to add 2 rock fireplaces onto it as well, with a minor revision to the existing driveway gate to accommodate the new addition next to the kitchen. We'd have to move that driveway gate down as shown in the site plan to attach to the new addition. But the gate and design of it all would stay the same, just moving it. I'm trying to think of everything that you're going to ask me. The driveway that leads to the garage would be a crushed gravel to match a gravel parking pad that is already there. The driveway and the circular driveway are asphalt, but there's existing gravel parking pad back there that you can see on the site plan. Yeah, not that one, but the actual site plan itself. Go back one, I think, to 44. Yeah. So the driveway and the circular part are asphalt, and then that kind of rectangular piece that's coming off of it, that is actually gravel. And there used to be a gravel driveway that led to the garage, and we would just put that back. That's what we're proposing. Can we go to 46? So yes, on 46 on the side there where the new porch is, the whole porch would be, all the timbers would be white to match the white timbers that are on the existing awning over the front door. Basically everything about that porch would be white, and then the body of the house would be the brown color that it is, and all the trim would be white to match the existing house.
And the galvanized roof, you said is on the porch?
It's on the porch, and there's also, we're showing some on the back, and the connectors that connect over to the house. Yes.
That's on both sides of the connectors?
Both houses, yes, both sides will have a, and again, all those will be 2 and 12. They'll be the minimum that a standing seam roof can be, and they'll be but it is a standing seam. It's not a corrugated roof. So. My hope is that the appearance of those roofs will be pretty minimal. I'd like for them to be as minimal as possible. I really want you to see the connector that connects the two and not really see the roof itself. So.
Okay, that's about it.
Yeah, and also I'm thinking about those rock chimneys. The rock chimneys will basically match the cheek walls that are already there that flank the front stair that's on the house. Mm-hmm. So we'll just match the existing rock that's there. Okay.
Okay. A long time since I've seen hand drawn.
Well, if I ever come here, that's all you're going to see. That's all I can do.
Yeah, I mean, but it looks good, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, bring back some memories. Okay. Board has any comments?
Chris, do you mind talking about the trees a little bit?
Yeah, so I know that in the back where the master wing is going to go, you see that there are 3 trees on that site plan. If we can go back to 44 up on the board. Those are all 3 hackberries, and so I don't feel like we're losing anything, and we would love to plan to plant some trees back there. On the part where the porch is being attached and the family room, we're probably going to lose 1 or 2 oak trees, but there are 2 to 3 that are in front of them, and they're all crowding each other out. So I don't think it's going to be a big loss to they're all trying to get the same sun. It may actually help the other 2 that are there to get rid of the ones that are behind them, and they're the older ones. The ones that are in front are newer. But if y'all feel we need to add some trees back, I'm sure we'd be happy to have some sort of discussion about that. So.
Well, Mr. Morris, you have a comment on that?
Yeah, as long as this is approved, they're willing to work with us, and they have the correct size requirements. So as long as they're willing to work with us, it's fine. We're fine with it.
One-to-one replacement? You're willing to do a one-to-one replacement?
Yeah, I'm assuming that y'all are willing to work with replacing a couple. Yeah, yes. So,
any additional comments, questions from the board?
There was some mention a couple of these trees are dead anyway?
A couple of them I think are already, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Need to get those out.
Yeah, they're not in danger of actually hitting the house, I don't think, but
Okay.
but they, or a neighbor at the moment, but they do need to be removed, yes.
It looks like the garage is in a subtly different location.
Yeah, and so here's I know we need 10 feet between the addition and the garage, and I know that we need 5 feet from the garage and the side setback, in the side yard, so it may be subtly different, but it'll be set by the fact that we keep 10 feet between the 2 buildings and that we should keep 5 feet away from the property.
Just setbacks aren't us or Miss Helen, so
Okay.
as long as they conform to setbacks, I just wanted to advise you that.
Yeah, I think I have it drawn kind of in 2 different locations, one on the site plan and one on the floor plan. They're probably going to sit skewed to one another if you go by the site plan that's up there right now. Because I've got it drawn parallel to the property line.
It's more the setbacks the city requires. It doesn't go through us, so.
Okay. Okay.
Any further comments?
Chris, I guess my comment would be that I think that we have, there's a proportion of addition to house, and I think you're pushing that.
I'm aware.
And I think that the room that does it is the porch that's not really a porch, it's a room.
Oh, you mean
It's got walls, it's got French doors on the front of it. If it was really a porch so that it was sort of translucent, rather than...
There is a room. There's a family room, the 15 by 22, but then there is a 14 by 15 porch in front of it.
Then maybe I'm not seeing from your drawing that it's a porch.
Yeah, so if you look, let's go to 47 maybe? Yeah, so when you see the side elevation, you've got the room, and then the fireplace is actually on the porch. So where the fireplace is, it's a 14-foot deep porch that's in front of that family room.
All right, but is that siding?
No, you're seeing the siding beyond. You're seeing the siding beyond, on the wall beyond.
Elevations can be so confusing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
You're
all
seeing
right.
the siding of the building beyond.
All right, so it is a porch.
Yeah, it is an open porch. It's completely open. Yep. Yes.
So the front elevation, you see the doors beyond.
The doors are beyond. Yeah, the doors are actually in the family room beyond. Yes. Yep. Yeah, yes. On 46, yes, if we go to that, you'll see that those are the doors you see on 46 are beyond. Yes. 2-dimensional drawings get you every time, right?
Should have realized it.
So this is a porch.
Yeah, that's not a room, it's a porch.
It's a porch. I see that now. Did you look at any lower roof pitches?
No, I just was trying to match the existing roof pitch of the house. I felt like that was the best thing to do.
Did you study a shed roof towards the front rather than the pavilion, sort of the pitched roof?
A shed roof instead of I didn't because of the room being 15 feet wide and 22 feet deep. I felt like I didn't want to do a 22-foot wide gable. Yeah, I wanted to do a 15-foot wide. So I did think about that at one point, but I'm hoping that with the porch and the porch being a flat roof, that gable is somewhat recessive behind there, and that you're looking more at the porch.
It's not going to appear as big as
Yeah.
it does in this drawing.
Yes. I'm hoping that it's going to be less. Yes.
Any more questions from the board?
Any further comments from the board? Any further comments? Any comments from the floor?
Darby Forrester, I'm representing the Old Cloverdale Association. If you're looking at the picture that's up right now, we did talk with Mr. Tippett about the metal roof on the porch because he said he wanted as flat as he could for that porch. We're not too sure about the metal roofs on the dividers. I think it would blend in more if it was the shingles of the current roof. We can see it for the porch because he's trying to do as flat as he can, but the others we would prefer that be shingles. Also on the bedroom, the master bedroom addition on the left, if you look at all the windows all the way across, it would seem if we kept that consistent with those windows all the way across the front, that it would look more consistent. I know that those types of windows are on the side and the back. We thought just from the front it would look better with the same windows. Yeah.
And I have no issue with that. If making it lighted all the way to the, making a full lighted window instead of having a big single pane on the bottom, I'm okay with that.
Wait a minute. With regard to the trees, we know some trees are going to have to go, but as many as possible that can stay would be great. And then working with the urban forester to do replacements is fine. We did have the next door neighbors, the Tullises. They could not be here. She did email me and said they were concerned about the addition being too close to their house. If you're standing in front of the house, their house is to the right. But according to the plans, it's like 42 feet from the end of the addition to the property line. So I told her I would mention it, so I did. And I believe that's it. It's a really nice addition. Chris does good work.
Chris, on these metal roofs, can they be bronze so that they really recede, so they go away? Are you doing copper?
I'd love to do copper to convince them of that. Sure, I'm happy to look at bronze. Sure,
Okay.
sure.
Because I think that if the roof was a
Right.
half weathered copper color, it'll go away against that house and it really won't be noticeable.
Well, we'll price both, just a bronze and a copper, and we'll let budget decide.
Okay. Any further comments? Any further comments? Chair, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the submittal with the revisions of the bronze or the copper metal roofs, the full divided lights on the front, and the petitioner working with Urban Forester's office on tree replacements.
We have a motion.
Second.
And the motion is properly second. Are there any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? Any unreadiness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? Okay. The project's been approved.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Milstead has returned.
Mr. Milstead, you want to come back?
Welcome back.
He's good. He's good. Uh-huh. The only problem that I see is that since you don't have any uprights on it, you need either uprights or a curb, because it's very easy for a wheelchair to get under a rail like that, and you don't want your wife careening off. You know, if the wheelchair got away from you, it can and I've seen this happen before, you know, the wheelchair can go up under the rail, so you need to have, you know, a 2x4 at least nailed to the edge of that rail so that there'll be something that'll stop the wheel.
Okay, so it's a safety issue.
I understand. So instead of just, you know, balusters.
You can do that if you want to do that. That's
well,
fine.
I'm trying to keep the cost down.
Yeah.
You know, for his sake. Can I just put a 2x4 railing in the center all the way down? Was that?
Or were you talking about attaching it to the ramp itself, right?
I was talking about attaching it to
at the
floor,
bottom to
at the
create
bottom
a
of the-
curb so that the wheel would have
If
something
the wheel
to
bumps.
bump into.
Oh, okay. Just tack a 2x4. Okay.
Kind of like speed bumps.
Does it need to be 4x4?
Just, you know.
Or two 2x4s? I don't remember what the dimension is. Okay. I don't remember what the dimension has to be.
That's what I was happy.
Just to keep that wheel from running off the side of the edge of the ramp.
Just to make sure we're on the same page.
Okay.
Come on up here.
I don't remember what the dimension is supposed to be.
Well,
We're
fortunately,
not here
people.
to design it for them.
That's
We're
true.
here to give them,
Has the building inspector been out? Because he's going to tell you the same thing, that you've got to have a curb there. Or you've got to put a rail up that comes down close enough so that would stop the wheelchair from going off. I saw somebody at Redfield Schoolhouse that has a rail like that, only they go underneath the rail once they do.
Actually, I was concerned about that too.
Okay.
I just want to keep the house down and see what y'all had in mind. So 2x4.
All right.
I would say just kind of work with the city building inspector on that as to what is required. We're not here to design it for you.
Well, we do.
Do we have any further comments from the board? If not, do we have any comments from the floor? Okay. Chair, entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the petitioner's request as submitted with the addition of the 2x4 on the bottom.
Well, just, don't say that, because
Don't say
that
that.
may not be correct, but to provide a proper, what can we say?
Safety board.
Curbing or barrier at the bottom?
Curbing or barrier on the side of the deck.
All right.
Conformance to code.
All right,
Yeah.
that's my motion.
Okay. You want to say it again? You want to say that?
Can you figure it out from that?
I can't figure it out. I'm gonna do the second. You go ahead and figure it out.
We approve the project as submitted with the understanding that you will discuss this with the building inspector and make the proper improvements that are needed in order to make the ramp meet code. How's that? Okay.
Second.
The motion that's been moved and properly seconded, is there any unreadness? Any unreadness? Any unreadness? All in favor of the motion? Okay, all opposed? Your project has been approved, subject.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're on to number 9, Mary Ann McCrory. Request for approval of rear and side fence, deck, screened porch, driveway, siding replacement, storage building, lattice skirting, window and door replacement for the property located at 1603, 1605 Madison Avenue, Capitol Heights. You may present your project.
I was asking for those.
Could you
Oh,
announce your name, say your name? And
Mary Ann McCrory. This is the Madison Avenue duplex. I was feeling really optimistic then. I know about the speed of dark now. I would ask right now that you just, there's not going to be a fence done anytime soon.
Okay.
So we don't even need to go into that and waste your time. And the garden shed, same thing.
Okay, remember that. Okay.
Oh, there are the pictures. So no garden shed, no fence. This is the, yeah, it's the back of the house. But there will be a deck. We are not replacing that door with the window. We'll be keeping the two doors at the back.
Okay.
So that's good. So the back would just, okay, that's where there should be a deck. I want it screened in, but if you need more information, we could just be happy right now with a door replacing that window and a deck, which should be screened in. You don't have a very good drawing of that because
I'm having very difficulty, man, without any better drawings. I mean, I like, it sounds good what you're looking to do. I need something to help me visualize it, and it's difficult with these drawings.
yeah, well, there's some excellent drawings there. A month ago, I did not know what an elevation is. I thought it was how high it is off the ground. So Christy kept asking me, we need an elevation. I said, 48 inches. So now we know. That's the screen porch at my current house, and it would look very much like that. It's almost the same size with lattice, not that beneath part.
Again, ma'am, you're saying almost the same. We need to know how big you want it and the dimensions, the exact dimensions, and we need it on paper so we can review it. And
The deck across the back is 8 feet by 20. For just the part on the left, that part right there goes until it makes that L bend to the at the right. That's across the back of the house. It's 20 feet and then 8 feet out into the backyard. And for right now, that part would be sufficient also, if I just had a platform to stand on at a back door.
Is there any steps?
Not yet, no steps. Nothing that, oh, I'm sorry, there should be one of the pictures of the original house.
No, I mean steps off the new deck down to the ground.
Yes, there would be steps.
And rails?
Rails, but I was hoping I could screen it in, but I'll come back next month with some drawings of a screen porch.
Well, Mr. McCrory, I guess and I know Mr. Hayden had said it twice, we're going to need some drawings that we could actually see what it's going to look like. The drawings that you have are good drawings, but they're not what we need to look at.
I understand. That one I did in Excel.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. We can't really tell. You know, and the descriptions that you are trying to tell us is not enough, and it's not very clear. So we need something that's going to be very clear. And I guess if you can get with Kristen, she can show you some of the other drawings that people have done before, and you can get that an idea. Maybe you're going to have to try to get somebody to do something for you.
Yeah. If you're working with a contractor, he could help you with that.
I think I may be the contractor.
Okay.
I did buy some software, though, that will help since I've submitted that.
Okay, well, before you do that, just see with Christy,
Okay, yeah.
get with Christy, if you don't mind, and
No, I'd love to.
Yeah, and let her sort of prove it, the process basically of what we need to get, because again, we can't view it, it's not, you know, viewable for us to make a decision on.
We look at plenty of drawings that are not done by architects, that, you know, that are not professional.
Right.
But you need to develop these a little bit more so that we can
will.
understand them better. I don't see anything that you're suggesting that we wouldn't approve, but we need to understand the limits of what you're going to do before we can take a vote.
Right. This is a big learning experience.
Yes. Even when you know what you're doing, it's a big learning experience.
Is there any piece of this that you all are comfortable with? The driveway?
Well, I was looking, I mean, she wanted to remove
the siding?
The removal of, apparently you have a number of different materials in the skirting of the house.
And on the siding on the back?
Okay.
There may have been some photos of the
There are.
the various.
I mean, I don't think there would be a problem taking care of certain things, but I mean, anything that's going to be constructed, the decking and the screened-in porch, we would need, you know, better drawings.
I think that we can easily approve the driveway and the replacement of the skirting that you have of various kinds with lattice. That's not a problem. If you wanted a limited approval on those things.
Okay.
Something you can begin with, and then while you're working on getting drawings for the other construction, that would certainly, you know, get you started.
Well, I have certainly figured out that the 3-day project is going into its 4th week, so I've really...
Seems very ambitious for a 3-day project.
And just as a help, if you do want to cover, like have a roofed over porch back there, you know, type of columns you're going to use, type of roofing you're going to use, the roof pitch you're going to use, all those things will come into consideration.
Okay. Well, I do have part of that, but I will make it look so you just can't wait for me to build it.
Excellent.
We can't wait for you to build it anyway.
You know, it can only get better. So the driveway is okay? I understand I need a city permit for that.
That's correct.
You'll need a permit to make a new curb cut from the engineering department.
And the various side, I can replace lattice, replace the, they were very creative.
It looks like it. We have the photographs. Yeah, I'll make the appropriate motion about the driveway and about the lattice at that point. Mr. Chairman, I think you have some other business to consider.
Well, let's, do we have any comments from the floor? Okay. So entertain a motion.
All right.
Comments from the audience? There is a neighborhood rep here. Any comments from the audience?
I just asked.
Oh, did you from before? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No comment?
No.
Okay.
No comment?
Sorry.
Okay.
Did I tell you I've been having a day? Did I tell you that?
Right there. I was with your husband 2 days, and we had a lot of
I'll say it
fun.
again.
Yeah, I
Do we
know.
have any comments from the floor? Do we have any comments from the floor? Okay.
No.
Chair, entertain a motion.
Okay. I move that we, with the exception of the following, that we table this so that Ms. McCrory can get some additional plans and things like that. But I do move that we approve the removal of various skirting materials so she can replace it with lattice. Also move to approve the new driveway as these are submitted in her plan.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been moved and properly second. Are there any unreadness in this one? Any unreadness? Any unreadness? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? Okay, that portion of the motion has been approved.
Thank you. That should keep me busy for about a year at the rate we're going.
It never goes as fast as you think it will. We all own older houses and we all know it.
It's just amazing surprises.
It never goes as fast, nor is the price at the price you consider.
There we go.
Okay, do we have any other business? If there's no other business, the meeting is adjourned.